All right, back on the 58 ranch wagon. Last time got the nose stripped off and expected to pull the engine and clean it up, change the cam and so forth and just paint it. But the camshaft would not come out of the engine. It had burrs on the cam lobe, second cam lobe. I think I have a picture I can put up. And in the process of removing the cam, that burr just ate up the cam bearings, the two front cam bearings. So pulled the heads and stripped it down, and off to the engine shop the short block went. And the heads went out too to get redone. So right now is getting a new crank bearings, and pretty much a complete rebuild except for the pistons, rings, and cylinders. They were 30 over from previous rebuild, and everything's clean. So we're going to leave that alone. It's fine. But new lower end, heads are going, being gone through, and hopefully I'll get back the engine in about 3 or 4 days. So in the meantime, now that this thing's snowballing out of control, I did locate a master cylinder for it. The original master was this thing here, which is a one chamber, low one line, and you have no brakes. Kind of a 4-bolt setup here, right there. And I mentioned earlier that I heard a late 60s Mustang 2-chamber would work, so I did pick one up. This is just a off-the-shelf Napa, and it's already been bolted in to test fit it. So that actually does line right up to the 2 lower holes for the old master. I've already had it bolted in. I don't know how the throw is on the rod. It actually felt okay, but truth be told, until we get fluid in this and pump up the brakes, we don't know. But we can make adjustments as necessary. I'm sure we can add or subtract from the rod there. And I did order from Mustangs Unlimited a 68 Mustang proportioning valve for manual disc brakes, because ultimately that's my goal for this, is to get manual or get disc brakes in the front. And I don't think I'm going to go power because the booster and the space it takes up and everything. I think the disc brakes manual will be fine. So that's where we're at tonight. Plan is to prep the hood on the underside, clean up the bad areas and prime it and then paint it. It's got some kind of tar-like undercoating here, which is fine. I'll just clean that up. I may hit it with another undercoat just to kind of even it out a bit, because it's all like plastered on there. But we'll get some underhood black over the white here, and someone painted over these bumpers. I'm not going to try to take these off. I'm sure they'll crack, and they're made of unobtainium and I won't be able to get any new ones, so we'll leave those alone. I'll just paint them over black. So hopefully tonight we'll get that done. And I pressure washed the chassis and the firewall the other day. Sprayed it down with some degreaser and pressure washed it. It came out pretty good. Got some spots to take care of. I'm going to grind a little bit of that surface rust off and get some rust converter on there, and then spray the whole thing chassis black. I have got my box of Eastwood paints in today, so I can get into that. And then the firewall will be prepped, and we'll paint that the matte black to match the underhood. So let's get going on this and see how far we get tonight. After a bunch of prep work, got everything all cleaned, sanded, and wiped on with Prep-Sol and masked off. So I'll give the frame a coat of self-etching primer, and the firewall a coat of just a black primer. And the hood, I painted earlier. Hopefully this matte black flattens out a little bit. Still a little tacky, so I think it will but that got 3 good coats, 1 coat of primer and 2 coats of top coat to cover all the white. So we'll see how that dries up, because that's the exact same color the firewall is going to be when I get this top coat on the firewall. I got everything done tonight that I wanted to. Got the chassis all prepped, primed, and then top coated with the Eastwood chassis black, 2 coats, and the firewall again prepped, primed, and painted with a flatter black, a little bit of a matte black. So a little different gloss between the firewall and the frame. And the black dried out pretty nice on the hood to the sheen that I was looking for. It flattened out nicely. So this is the color that the firewall and cowl is going to be on the Ford. So next thing we'll do is attack the front clip, clean that up, probably pressure wash it, prep it, and paint all the inner fenders and everything that's worn out or get a little bit of rust on it. So that's it for tonight, and hopefully next time we'll see an engine.